Welcome to the Patriot Hour for Tuesday, April 10th, 2018. We got some new Anon, Q clearance updates, breadcrumbs, drops. Stick around, we're going to get right into it.
You know what letter that is, Grover?
I think so.
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This is indeed a
Hey,
Q.
Froggy.
All right, welcome to the Patriot Hour. I am Michael, your host. If you're new to the channel, please take a look around. If you're new to the whole QAnon, Q clearance, what is it? What are we all talking about? Probably want to get yourself up to par. Kind of hard to follow along if you don't know what we are talking about. Okay, so let's jump right in here. And again, there's some great videos all around the web, and I have a few myself. I think the highlighted video on my channel for YouTube is a video I put together a few weeks back that, what is Q? So, okay, let's get in here. We got some new Q updates. And I believe the last one I went over was April 9th. Oh, I didn't do any of these. Let me go back a little bit. Okay. I think it was this one. Okay, so let's go to 11/11 in the series. This came at April, or 11/11 at 1805. Anonymous, Great Awakening Anonymous poster. Forgot to post this along with the original post. April. A. IG report, Sessions public attack. RR problems. Seals broken. A. Arrests. Why was Huber made public? Why now? Everything has a meaning. Awan. Tarmac, Iran. NK, North Korea. U1, Uranium 1. FBI, DOJ, Mueller, election integrity, immigration bill, border, wall, military, start, big month, Q. Q reposted that whole thing for context and then puts at 1821, amazing coincidence, plus military start / wall. You have more than you know, reasons we are here, more. Q. So then 11/12 in the series, anonymous poster, POTUS said they broke in, 1823. April 9th, 1827, Q puts, they broke in during the fire, distraction, Q. So 11/13 in the series. Anonymous poster, did Anons ever figure out what Q meant with the baby on the floor, hands in the mouth? The start. What was this Syria FF? Question mark. Q puts at 1836, which is 6:36 p.m. Finally, chemicals, learn our comms, Q. Let's look at that one a little more here. This loads up. Okay, God bless Q in the plan. Looks like you just did. Boom. I thought this was a nod to household cleaners being used and the babies poisoning themselves since they put their hands in their mouths. Oh, shoot. No way we were going to put that together until now. Do it Q. MSN fake video of baby on the floor, hands in the mouth. Not so easy for us simple minds. Again, think logically. Chemical warfare on many fronts. Wow, I read that one wrong. Merc equal big pharma equal evil effers. We're supposed to connect baby on the floor, hands and mouth to serial chemical weapons. I think I'm way behind the curve here. Okay. So you got an anonymous poster, the Pepe dancing. The connection is simply chlorine, not false flag. Keep in mind that every crumb is not meant to be solved before the event. Some of the drops are things for Anons to dig on and make connections with. Others are markers for future reference. Future proves past. Some drops are just simply communication to Anons. What needs to be understood to appreciate what's going on here is the fact that Q is basically creating a circular flow diagram that can be referenced and cross-checked with news releases. Can't Q just disclose specifics about a situation or operation without violating security protocol? Instead, they can drop questions and statements that lead to answers that can be understood once the subject becomes public. This provides the validation necessary for the public to believe the Great Awakening is legit. Disinformation and misdirection with Q is real. In other words, Q is pointing over there, but really the focus is here, and only until you publicly get the news can you go back and understand. Think SA drops. All of this accomplished without giving up specific details about the operation. It's quite genius. That's exactly what I've been saying, folks. We talk about this Q level clearance. I understand it. Many of you do. But it's not really any top secret stuff being shifted down. It's I'm going to point us in the right direction. We got to figure it out organically. It's sometimes it's hard to go around the world fighting evil without becoming evil yourself. That is one of the hardest things man, woman have to face is if you don't like leakers and all this stuff and there's rules, then you got to operate within them. So again, I've always said that if, the way this could work is if this Q group or people that have a high level, it's like they're reading things and knowing things, but then they kind of have to like put it out in a manner that doesn't quite break the rules. So it's just like, if you knew one of these people and you were having private conversation with them and they would, maybe you're sitting there having a barbecue or something, drinking some beers and they're kind of talking and they're not really giving you any, straight classified information because that would be breaking the rules. Not that some don't do that, but okay, so 1117 in the series, we got an anonymous poster, reposted something from earlier. Okay, well, here we are. So 1115, I skipped. 1115 at 1949, that would be 7:49 p.m. Read carefully. Cohen. Got a New York Times article here. So 4 at Trump Tower kills 1, police say. I'll read this here. A 67-year-old man died after being injured in a fire at Trump Tower in Midtown Manhattan on Sunday, the police said. The man, Todd Brassner, was in his apartment on the 50th floor at the time of the fire, which was reported around 5:30 p.m., the police said. He was taken to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. 4 firefighters sustained injuries that were not life-threatening. Fire Commissioner Daniel A. Nigro said at a news conference. He said the apartment, a large unit that was heavily furnished, was virtually entirely on fire. Video footage showed flames bursting through broken windows. The fire commissioner, Daniel A. Nigro, said an apartment on the 50th floor of the tower was virtually entirely on fire. Brian R. Smith for the New York Times. Neither President Trump nor his family was in the building, a Fifth Avenue skyscraper that is the calling card of his real estate business. The commissioner said firefighters went with the Secret Service to inspect the president's residence while the rest of the building had considerable amount of smoke. It was not immediately clear if it reached Mr. Trump's unit, he said. More than 200 firefighters responded to the fire, the cause of which was unknown, the commissioner said. Mr. Trump, who was in Washington at the time, said on Twitter that the tower's construction helped confine the fire. Trump tweets, "Fire at Trump Tower is out, very confined, well-built building. Firemen and women did a great job. Thank you." 132 hearts and 61,000 talking about it. There's a photo there of, looks like ground zero, I guess, of base of Trump Tower of the incident. Residents said they received no evacuation orders from the building management about the fire, which killed a man on the 50th floor. The commissioner said the upper floors that are home to residents do not have fire sprinklers. It's a well-built building, he said. The building sure stood up quite well. While the building is subject around the clock to extra security by law enforcement, extra fire protection happens only when the president is there, Commissioner Nigro said. The authorities restricted passerby from the area directly in front of the tower, keeping them out of the street and on the sidewalk on the opposite side of Fifth Avenue. And here you can see, appears to be some footage of, fire. I messed that all up. Ooh, a little bit of debris. All right. So, fire in Trump Tower worsening. So we have Leilas Mason, a 76-year-old resident, called it very, very terrifying experience. When I saw the television, I thought we were finished. Said Mrs. Masson, who lives on the 36th floor with her husband, Narendra, who is 79 and has Parkinson's disease. I started praying that this war was our end. I called my oldest son and said goodbye to him because the way it looked, everything was falling out the window and it reminded me of 9/11. Okay. The authorities restricted passerbys on the sidewalk to stay on the opposite side. I'm assuming this thing keeps popping up down here. Keeping onlookers to the sidewalk on the opposite of Fifth Ave. Okay. She said that she did not get any announcement about leaving and that when she called the front desk, no one answered. Dennis Shields, a resident who said he lived on the 42nd floor, described the scene. You could smell the smoke and you could hear things falling like through the vents, he said. It just smelled like sulfur. He said there was no orders to evacuate, but he received a text message from Trump's lawyer, Michael D. Cohen. Mr. Shields, who said he grew up with Mr. Cohen, continued. He said, "Are you in the building?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You better get out ASAP." That's how I knew to get out of there. Otherwise, I'd still be in there. In January, a small electrical fire broke out near the top of the building. Officials at the time indicated it was the building's heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system. A firefighter was hurt by falling debris and 2 civilians were injured. Okay, so at the very end there, Q says, read carefully, and then in parentheses is the Cohen part of it. So, very interesting. At the very end of this here, Cohen's name comes up, of course, So he said there was no orders. A text message from Trump's lawyer this guy got. Mr. Shields, who said he grew up with Mr. Cohen. Are you in the building? I said, yes, I am. He said, you better get out ASAP. So, interesting. All right, so 11:16 in the series. Thank you, XI. Good start. China/CQ cancel. Q. Okay, so 11:17 in the series, we have an anonymous poster posted at 22:59, or Q reposts his last one from 22:59, and then puts a, in reference here at 23:19, which would be, 11:19 p.m. 22:59, so that was 10:59. 10:59. Now we're at 11:19 p.m. A little article. Let's see what this goes. China embrace of foreign cars. So, Chongqing, China. For more than a decade, Chinese automakers have been talking about starting large-scale exports. So, all right, that's highlighted over here. So, for more than a decade, Chinese automakers have been talking about starting large-scale exports to North America and Europe, promoting periodic worries in the West that companies like General Motors, Ford, and Volkswagen might be crippled by the Chinese competition, the way they were by Japanese imports a generation ago. Okay, so that was 11:18 in the series, and that came at 23:25, 11:25 p.m. All this photo here, and we get fake. So 11:43 last night, some anonymous put this and puts thoughts to Q. 11:19 in the series, Q puts fake. That's just not real, so we won't even go any more into that. 11:20. This came at 12:15 a.m. earlier today on April 10th. Q puts clarify. Chongqing, Tuesday, demand, XI. Confirmed tariff reduction Tuesday, parentheses China, period. Cars, article provides foundation, major import, Ford, U.S., start, Q. 11:21 in the series at 0:40, which would be 12:40 a.m. earlier this morning. Actions today. Raid will be met with swift action. FBI burning midnight oil. Q. Let's look at this. Finally recovered. Okay, love it. Can I get a whoop whoop? About time. Sweet. Whoop whoop. Get them. Boom. Good to hear. Time to start kicking these traitors' S. F-rant. Defeat is not an option. SS on security cameras. Time to start exposing the FBI for the corrupt crooks that some of them are. Ones at the top, I'm sure they ours till many good men within the agency. What happens to those that cover up their tracks? The bombing by Israel is very convenient. We hope so. They're frustrating to watch. Okay. POTUS tweeted bad T-Raid. FBI not sleeping tonight. Is Cohen a leaker or a co-conspirator? Did he betray POTUS? Kick some ass for us, Q. What about Israel pushing U.S. into war? Godspeed, Q. Okay. Last one by Q here was at 11:22 in the series at 12:48 a.m. And we get trust Sessions, trust Ray, trust Kansas, trust Horowitz, trust Huber, Q. Okay, here we go. Thank you. Trust POTUS. Okay, deal. Yes, sir. Horowitz and Huber added, I see. Got it. Do we trust John Bolton? A 5-star corruption busting team if I'd ever seen one. Still no trust Mueller. Gods, I wonder about that, man. 10-4 loud and clear. We trust the plan. Please, Q. Trust Losich? Huh. So, yeah, Mueller. On second thought, Mueller and RR are missing. Who is Kansas? My question is how many raids will be tonight? What about Mueller? Why are we trusting Kansas? You said C/_A was impossible to clean. Q, did Michael Cohen betray? Mueller and RR are on the list. Yeah, like I said, I had said that a while back. I didn't know whether Mueller or not. I thought I had seen it somewhere in the queue, but it was Sessions always. And now we see Mueller. We trust you, so we'll trust them. Q, have the scary but safe message has been delivered yet? What about Mueller? How could Ray let the FBI raid the president's personal attorney? We might trust the real, but let's get going. Trust Kansas, referring to a grand jury, perhaps. Huh. All right, so. Okay, so there you go, folks. Those are the newest Q post drops, breadcrumbs. Excuse me. Apple juice. So, I want to appreciate, just again, to thank everybody for all the subscribes. We had a great video yesterday on that. So if you missed it, please check it out. Had a couple of the Scott and Nate in the studio. So we did a 10K thank you. What a great, going over some of the post comments. We really appreciate it all the support, all the sharing. We just really are. Of course, we're gonna do what we do, and to have as many people engaging and part of it is just all the better. That's all. That's our agenda. Not to, are we out trying to get the truth out or more about subscriptions? No, it's great to have both. If you're talking and you're telling truthful things or just getting the word out, and to have people actually be part of that is just all the better. So I'm Mike from the Patriot Hour. Again, please, if you're new, hit the, ring the bell, subscribe, like, share, comment, drop an email, look in the description box. We always put all the links that we get into down below. So, all right, until later on, God bless, Godspeed, and have a great day.
You know what letter that is, Grover?
I think so.
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This is indeed a Q.
Hey, Froggy.